Okay, so I finally sat down tonight and I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. I know I'm late to the party on this one. I've been busy this past week, so I haven't really had a whole lot of time to actually sit down and watch this movie. But as everybody in the horror community, I've been excited for this movie, not only as a horror fan and a slasher fan, but also coming as a fan of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. And yes, this film is the best sequel since Michael Bay's 2003 remake, which isn't saying a lot, even though we've had a few Texas Chainsaw Massacre films come out since then. We had The Beginning, which came out in 2006, followed by the 2013, reboot, Texas Chainsaw 3D. But this is the best sequel since that film. And I think it all comes down to what audiences' expectations are and because this film will be very divided in the horror community. And like I said, it all comes down to what your expectations are for this film. If you're going to this film expecting to see kills, you will be left very happy. But if you want more than kills in your slasher films, and you want like good characters, you want a good story, and you want good kills along with all of that, this film will leave you very disappointed. And while I was happy with the film that I got, this film did let me down in a few ways, which I will get to. But first and foremost, let's talk about my positives for Texas Chainsaw 2022. So the biggest positive I can say about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 is the gore. This will be the reason this film will be talked about. That will be the biggest positive that everybody will be discussing about this film. But yet this is the bloodiest entry in this franchise since Michael Bay's remakes of this film. Because once Leatherface picks up that chainsaw, this film is very fast paced. This is a very brutal movie. All of the kills are on screen, which I was very happy with as a gore hound. The gore in this movie left me very happy. Like, the highlight scene in this movie will be the bus massacre sequence, because like shit tons of people are getting sliced in half. There's a lot of blood matter, there's a lot of blood and guts in that sequence, and so that will be the highlight sequence for a lot of fans of this franchise and horror fans as well. And that was my favorite scene. That will be the scene that I will take away from this movie as being my favorite scene. But then the first kill in this film, which includes a handgun, which I thought was pretty fun. It was a very creative kill. So all of the gore in this movie is hands down the best part of this movie. If you're going to this movie purely to see blood and guts and lots of kills, this movie won't let you down. Second positive is Leatherface is very intimidating. This is definitely one of our better portrayals of the character, because this franchise has been very hit or miss with Leatherface's look. But once again, this is Leatherface's best look since, I would say, Texas Chainsaw 3D, because like a lot of people hate that movie, but I can give credit to what Leatherface looks like in that movie, and I think this is his best look since that film, in my opinion, that is. And Leatherface, speaking of Leatherface, what we've learned about his character throughout this franchise, he's a bit too smart. Like, this film takes the Halloween 2018 approach, and this film, it doesn't really feel like it's doing anything, it doesn't feel like it's doing anything new to reborn this franchise. As far as what they do with our character of Sally, she's in the movie. She's in the movie for about 5 minutes before she gets killed off. She doesn't really make a big deal in the film. yeah, this film would be the same if they completely cut her role from the script of this film. This movie would be no different. But since they marketed this film as a direct sequel to the original, I was expecting more of a role for her, but she more shows up. She goes to face Leatherface at the end, and then she ends up dying 2 minutes into seeing Leatherface. So there's not really much of a character arc. You don't really get to see where her mindset is at, like psychologically, after the after the after the trauma that the original film left her. You don't really get to you see that the police have investigated the case, but then that's really it. You see her, she shows up, she dies. That's her whole character arc in a few words. So yeah, she doesn't do much to really impact the story here. Our main group of characters are they are people. They're people. They don't really have much of a character here. Like no one, as I'm reviewing this movie, I can't remember anyone's name in this film. That's how forgettable our main characters are. And this film has a very hard time selecting someone to be our main character, because first you think it's this chick that's in charge of everything. First you think it's her, but then you think it's her sister, and just the film doesn't really have a main character that you want it to follow, which does make it very hard to cheer for anyone in this film. But then once you eventually find out who our so-called final girl is, it's a little too late to, I guess, to be a final girl, because she hasn't really done anything to be called a final girl, because the movie has an ending that, while is shocking, it would have been better if they ended the movie on the note they already did, instead of having this second ending where Leatherface is still alive and he cuts off this chick's head and then holds it in front of facing her sister, so that's the last thing that she sees, which is both very disturbing and shocking. It doesn't make for a very good ending, in my opinion, as far as the story goes and our final girl goes. This movie does have an after credit scene, which I did appreciate. I did like what they did with the after credit scene. It's not much, but if this film wanted to make a sequel, it definitely does set up for a sequel, and it's a sequel I would be interested in seeing. But this film it doesn't really do much to add. It's just another movie in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. It's not anything special. It's not anything new you haven't already seen. It doesn't really add any new story elements on top of what you already have. This movie was disappointing in the way that it was a sequel, because it takes story beats from other movies. Halloween 2018 being the biggest inspiration for this film, because this film really is an exact recreation of that film with Sally from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's the best way of putting it. It doesn't do anything new, so I was disappointed. But if you are a fan of the original, there is definitely stuff to enjoy here. There's some homages that I enjoyed as a fan, but yeah, there's really nothing new that you haven't already seen. But I enjoyed the movie overall. This is definitely a movie I would watch a second time purely for the kills. If you are a gorehound, like I said, there is a lot to enjoy here in that department. But if you go to the Texas Chainsaw movie wanting more than that, you will be disappointed like I was. So yeah. So anyways, guys, yeah, they're my thoughts on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. If you have seen the film, which I'm sure you already have, let me know down in the comments, what did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you think it was mad? Or did you really not like it? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. So anyways guys, I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening or night, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye.